made my teacher cry. Story time. When I was in second grade, I had this teacher and she was the devil, and we're gonna name her Miss Jackson. And the reason I call her a devil is because she would say really mean things to me to my face. She would be like, Ty, stop talking like that, you sound like a little girl. Or, your favorite color can't be pink, you have to choose one of the boy colors. And since I was so young, I didn't understand how serious these things were, and I didn't know I can get her in trouble. And I would go home sad like every single day. Eventually my mom noticed and she asked me what was wrong. So I told her some of the things that Miss Jackson would say to me, and my mom was mad. And my mom was like, the next time she says something to you, say something rude back, and if you get in trouble, I'll handle her from there. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. Now, Miss Jackson was a heavy lady, so I knew if I said something rude to her, it would be about her weight. Though we don't body shame around here. We don't do that, okay? So I'm in school eating lunch with my friends who happen to be girls, and Miss Jackson comes up to me and she's like, shouldn't you be eating with the boys? So I looked at her and I was like, shouldn't you be eating a salad? And the lunchroom started laughing, and then she started crying.
Hey guys, I really wanted to tell you guys about this life experience that I wouldn't think that would ever happen to me. So, Friday last week, something big happened. I was just in my room diamond painting and putting all my diamond paintings in my app, and I get a knock downstairs, and my cousin and my sister and I run downstairs. Our neighbor's banging on our door saying your house is on fire, which I didn't know because I was upstairs and my TV was on. So we all ran downstairs, and thank God my dog was at the vet. We went outside in pajamas and with no shoes on. We just ran. We didn't think about anything. And my parents weren't home, so I left my phone in the house, so they were really worried. Come back for part 2 for photos and me explaining it more.
My friend ate her pets. Story time. When I was in college, living in the dorms, we were not allowed to have pets. And at the time, I was friends with this girl, and we're gonna name her Vicky. And she was known for not following the rules. So one day, Vicky decides that she's gonna get some pet snails and bring them into the dorms. So she buys like 4 snails, buys them a little bowl, gets them little decorations, and sets them up inside of her room. And she was able to keep them a secret for about a month. Until one day, we had room inspections. So the RAs go around inspecting everybody's room, and then they come to mine. And while they're in my room, I text Vicky and I'm like, hey girl, they're coming to your room next. Make sure you hide your pet snails. And she texts me back and she's like, oh shoot, what am I supposed to do with them? And jokingly, I was like, eat them. They do it in France all the time. So after a while, the inspections are over and I head over to Vicky's room. And when she opened the door, she looked kind of sad. So I was like, what's wrong? Did they find your snails? And she was like, no, I ended up eating them. And I look over and their bowl is empty.
So my sister just got in a lot of trouble. She wanted to make some extra money, so she went around our neighborhood asking the neighbors if they needed any help. So one of my neighbors answered, and my sister asked him if he needed any help, and he said, I do need my porch painted. How does $50 sound? So my sister agrees, and she started working. So my neighbor goes back inside his house, and his wife asks him, does she know that the porch wraps around the whole house? And he said, of course she does. She saw it. After she's done with the work, she went to the door to collect the money, and she says, I had extra paint, so I put a second coat on it. My neighbor was really impressed, so he paid her $100, and my sister thanks him, and she says, by the way, it's a BMW, not a Porsche.
I had to prove this lady wrong. Story time. Yesterday, me and my cousin went to Sephora so that way she could go get makeup. Bria Janae, I'll put her at right here. Go check her out. She's beautiful. But while we were in there, she was picking up all this makeup, so I figured I'd be nice and hold some of the items for her. Well, unfortunately, some lady came into the store with her son and her daughter. Her daughter had to be in her teenage years, but her son was like maybe 7, 8. And he sees me holding the makeup and he comes up to me and he's like, oh my God, are you a boy who does makeup? That's so cool. And I was like, no, I don't do makeup. This is actually for my cousin. But then his mom steps in and she kind of snaps at him a little bit and she's like, don't say that's cool. Makeup is not meant for boys to wear. And of course he was sad about it. So I decided to be annoying and I was like, oh, really? Because some of the brands in the store are owned by boys in beauty. So clearly they can wear makeup. And the little boy smiles and his mom pulls him away. But after that, I decided to buy makeup and actually try to do my makeup for the very first time. And I put it on my second channel, Ty.Beauty. Go check it out and tell me how I did.
This is a story of the time that I caught my neighbor's mom talking smack about me. So I don't know about you guys, but every single Wednesday in my middle school, we would have a bagel sale. And some people's parents would come in to help out. And my neighbor's mom was one of those parents. And I had a best friend at the time whose mom would also work at the bagel sales. But this best friend of mine, her mom never let us hang out with each other because she felt that I was a bad influence on her. when in reality, it was the complete opposite. She was the one that snuck the boys in her house, if you guys remember that story time, where they peed in a flower pot. So basically, her mom wouldn't let us hang out. And sometimes my friend would go with her mom in the morning, basically as a ride to school, and to help out with the bagels too. And one day when she went in with her mom, my neighbor's mom also was there too. So my friend starts eavesdropping into their conversation, and my friend's mom brings me up and says how much of a bad kid I am and a bad influence. And my neighbor's mom was like, "Oh wow, that's my neighbor. Like, we always suspected something bad about her. Our whole entire neighborhood knows this about her." Basically making stuff up about me. So then I go home crying, tell my mom.
One of my fans has a crazy mother. Story time. So me and my mom decided to go to Walmart to pick up a couple things. While I was there, I ran into a little girl who happened to be a fan of mine, and she was with her mother, and her mother was wearing this black shiny bracelet. Just keep that in mind. So they come up to me and they're super nice at first, and her mom's like, "Hey, my daughter's a big fan of yours. Do you mind taking a picture with her?" So of course I'm being really nice back, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" The little girl comes over to me, and she was really cute too, but she stands next to me so her mom can take a picture of us. Then her mom goes, "Give him a hug, sweetie." And I didn't really want to do that because of social distancing, but I didn't say anything. The little girl actually opened up her mouth and she was like, "Mom, I don't think I can because of social distancing." And all I said was, "Yeah, it's probably best that we don't." As soon as I said that, her mom starts flipping out. She calls me a horrible person, makes her daughter unfollow me, and then they storm off. And me and my mom were just like, "What?" Then later on in the parking lot, as we're pulling off, something flies into the window and smacks me in the face. And when I picked it up, it was her mom's black bracelet.
So I used to know this girl who would constantly say things like, "Guys, sorry, I'm so ugly. I just ruined the whole group photo, I'm sorry." And then everyone would automatically comfort her and be like, "No, you're beautiful. You shine." And then she would be like, "No, but thank you." And she would do the same thing over and over again, trying to get everyone's attention. So eventually I got tired. So the next time she came to me saying, "I'm so ugly," I was like, "You know what? You are." She was like, "What'd you say?" And I was like, "Bitch, if you think you're ugly, I can crop you out of the photo. The fuck do you want me to tell you? I'm not the one who made you look like a woolly mammoth."
Story time. So this story took place in 4th grade, and there was this girl. We're gonna call her Emily. So Emily didn't like me at all. Emily was also friends with one of my friends. We're gonna call her Nicole. We were in gym when this took place. I was talking to Nicole. Emily comes over, sits next to Nicole, and starts talking to her without even acknowledging the fact that I was talking to Nicole. I look at her and I'm like, "Can you please come back later? Me and Nicole are having a conversation right now." She goes, "No, you're being so rude right now. This is my friend, not yours." I would tell the teacher when stuff like this happened, but Emily would always act so innocent and would never get in trouble. One day, me and Nicole were walking home from school, and Emily and her mom walk over to us. Like and follow for part 2.